Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello, welcome to my video. I'm Dewi Sartika from class A. This time I want to discussion the us of the word do, did, does, have, had, to be, I'm, is, are, and question word. In sentence asking about activities in the kitchen. From example, sentence with from for bake. Do you bake bread often? Did he bake the bread himself? Does she know who to bake bread? Have you ever baked bread before? Has he baked any bread this week? Had he baked the bread? Am I baking the bread correct? Am I baking the bread correct? Is she baking the bread right now? Are they baking bread for the party? For was baking bread yesterday? We're baking bread together last week. What do you bake with bread? Why do you bake bread? Which bread do you like to bake? When do you use bake bread? Where do you bake bread? Who taught you how to bake bread? Whom do you use bake bread for? Just repeat, do you ask to bake bread? Who do you bake with? Beat. Do you beat the egg well? Did you beat the egg before cooking? Does she beat the egg for the omelette? Have you ever beaten an egg? Have he beaten the eggs yet? Had he beaten the egg when I arrived? Am I beating the egg correct? Is she beating the no? Are they biting the eggs for breakfast? What do you bet with an egg? Was she beating the egg yesterday? Where we beating the eggs together? Why do you beat the egg? Which egg do you beat? When do you beat the egg? Where do you usually beat the egg? How beat the egg in your recipe? Whom do you ask about how to beat the egg? Whose egg do you beat for the cake? How do you beat the egg? Cut. Do you cut the carrot? Did you cut the carrot for the salad? Does she cut the carrot before cooking? Have you cut the potato yet? Has she cut the potatoes for dinner? Had he cut the potato before cooking? I'm cutting the tomato. Is she cutting the tomato? Are they cutting the tomato? Was he cutting the tomato yesterday? Were we cutting her tomatoes together? What do you cut from paprika? Why do you cut the paprika? Which paprika do you want to cut? When do you cut the paprika? Where do you cut the paprika in the kitchen? How cut the paprika for the salad? Whom do you ask about? Whose paprika is this that you are going to cut? Who to cut a paprika? Fry. Do you fry your own nuggets? Did you fry the nuggets? Does he fry the nuggets? Have you fried the nugget? Has she fried the nugget? Had he fried the nugget before? I am frying the nugget correct. Is she frying the nugget right now? Are they frying the nugget for dinner? What do you fry with the nugget? How do you fry nugget? Which oil do you fry with? When do you fry nugget? Where do you fry them? Who fry the nugget? Whom do you share a nugget with? Whose nugget artist? Who do you fry the nuggets to make them crispy? Cook. Do you cook meat daily? Did you cook the meat yesterday? Does he cook meat at home? Have you ever cooked meat? Has she cooked the meat yet? Had he cooked the meat before cooking? Am I supposed to cook the meat? Is the is the meat cooked finally? Are you cooking the meat now? Was the meat cooked before cooking? Where were the cooking the meat together? What do you cook meat for? Why do you cook meat? Which meat do you cook? When do you cook meat? Where do you cook meat? Who cooks the meat? Whom do you ask about cooking meat? Whose meat are you cooking? How do you cook meat? Mix. Do you mix peaches often? Did you mix the peaches yesterday? Does she mix the peach? Have you mixed that speech before? Has mixed the speech yet? Had he mixed the speeches already? I mixing the red speech. Is the speech mixed well? Are you missing the speech? Was the speech mixed properly? Was the speech mixed properly? Were the speeches mixed together? What speech do you mix? Why mix the speech? Which speech is best to mix? When do you mix the speech? Where do you mix the speech? Who makes the speech? Whom do you ask about mixing speech? Whose speech are you are you mix? Who do you mix the speech? Brew. Do you brew tea every day? Did you brew the tea yesterday? Does she brew tea often? Of you brew that tea before? Has he brewed the tea yet? Had he brewed the tea in Afghan? Am I brewing the correct? Is his tea bread yet? Are you brewing tea now? Was tea was the tea bread properly? Where the tea is bread? What tea do you brew? Why do you brew a tea? Which tea is best to brew? When do you brew tea? Where do you brew tea? Where do you brew tea? How brews the tea? Whom do you ask about brewing tea? Whose tea are you brewing? How do you brew tea? Saute. Do you saute onions often? Did you saute the onion yesterday? Does she saute the onion with oil? Have you sauteed the onion yet? Has he sauteed the onion before? Had he sauteed the onion already? Am I sweating the onion correct? Is the onion sauteed? Are you sauteing the onion? Was the onion sauteed properly? Were the onion sauteed before serving? What do you sauteing with oil? Why do you saute the onion? Which onion do you saute? When do you saute the onion? Where do you saute the onion? Who sautes the onion? Whom do you ask about sauteing onions? Whose onion are you sauteing? How do you saute the onion? Boil. Do you boil pasta often? Did you boil the pasta yesterday? Does she boil the pasta with salt? Have you boiled the pasta before? Has he boiled the pasta yet? Had he boiled the pasta in efficiency? Am I boiling the pasta? Is the pasta boiled? Are you boiling pasta? Was the pasta boiled? Were the pastas boiled? What do you boil pasta in? Why do you boil the pasta? Which pasta do you boil? When do you boil the pasta? Where do you boil the pasta? Who boils the pasta? Whom do you ask about boiling pasta? Whose pasta are you boiling? How do you boil pasta? Grater. Do you grater ginger often? Do you grater the ginger yesterday? Does she grater the ginger before cooking? Have you grated the ginger? Has he grated the ginger? Had he grated the ginger? Am I grading the ginger correct? Is she the ginger grader? Are you grader the ginger? Was the ginger grader? Where the ginger's grader? What do you grader ginger for? Why grader the ginger? Which ginger do you grade? When do you grader ginger? Where do you grader ginger? Who graders the ginger? Whom do you ask about grading ginger? Whose ginger are you grading? How do you grader ginger? Steaming. Do you steam bakpao often? Did you steam the bakpao yesterday? Does she steam the bakpao? Have you steamed the bakpao yet? Has he steamed the bakpao before? Had he steamed the bakpao in Afghan? Am I steaming the bakpao? Is the bakpao steaming? Are you steaming the bakpao? Was the bakpao steaming earlier? Where the bakpao steaming? What is steaming the bakpao? Why is the bakpao steaming? What bakpao is steaming? When is the bakpao steaming? Where is the bakpao steaming? How is steaming the bakpao? Whom do you ask about steaming the bakpao? Whose bakpao is steaming? Who is the bakpao steaming? Melt. Do you melt margarine often? Did you melt the margarine yesterday? Does she melt the margarine? Have you melted the margarine yet? Has he melted the margarine before? Had she melted the margarine in Axfin? Am I melting the margarine correct? Is the margarine melt? Are you melting the margarine? Was the margarine melt? Well, the margarine and butter melt together. What is margarine asked to melt? Why do you melt margarine? Which margarine do you melt? When do you melt margarine? Where do you melt margarine? Who melts the margarine? How do you melt margarine? Turn on. Did you turn off the stove? Does she turn off the stove? Have you turned on the stove? Has he turned on the stove yet? Had he turned on the stove before cooking? I am turning on the stove correct? Is the stove turning on? Are you turning on the stove? Was the stove turning on? Were the bronze turn on? What do you turn on the stove for? Why do you turn on the stove? Which brown do you turn on? When do you turn on the stove? Why do you turn on the stove? Who turns on the stove? Whom shall I ask to turn on the stove? Whose job is it turn on the stove? How do you turn on the stove? Stirring. Do you stir the dough often? Did you finish stirring the dough? Does he like stirring the dough? Have you have you started stirring the dough? Has she finished stirring the dough? Had he already stirred the dog? Am I steering the dog correct? Is the dog steering? Are you steering the dog? Was the dog straight? Where do you steering the dog? What is in the dog? Why are you steering the dog? Which dog are you steering? When are you steering down? Where is the dog being steering? Who is steering the dog? Whom are you steering the dog down for? Whose dog are you steering? Who are you steering the dog? Enter. Do you enter floor first? Did you enter the floor? Does she enter the floor? Have you entered the floor? Has entered the floor yet? Had he entered the floor before mixing? Am I enter the floor? Is the floor enter? Are you entering the floor? Was the floor enter correct? Where are they entering the floor? What do you enter floor into? Why do you enter floor slow? Which dish do you enter floor for? When do you enter floor in the rep shape? Where do you enter floor? Who entered the floor? Whom do you ask for whom do you ask before entering floor? Whose floor do you enter? How do you enter floor? Slice. Do you slice the cheese thin? Do you slice the cheese? Does she slice the cheese? Have you sliced the cheese? Has he sliced the cheese yet? Had he sliced the cheese before serving? I still slicing the I am slice the cheese correct? Is the cheese sliced? Are you slicing the cheese now? Was the cheese sliced early? Where the cheese slice stage? What do you slice the cheese with? Why do you slice the cheese? Which cheese do you slice? When do you slice the cheese? Where do you slice the cheese? Who sliced the cheese? Whom do you give the sliced cheese to? Whose cheese are you slice? Who do you slice the cheese? Peeling. Do you like peeling apples? Did you peeling the apple? Does she enjoy peeling the apples? Does she peeling apple? Does she enjoy peeling apples? Have you peeled the apple? Has he peeled the apple? Had you peeled the apple? I am peeling the apple. Is the apple being plain? Are you peeling the apple? What's the apple plain? Were you peeling the apple? What are you peeling? What are you peeling the apple? Which apple are you peeling? When are you peeling the apple? Where are you peeling the apple? Who is peeling the apple? Whom did you peeling the apple? Whose apple are you peeling? How are you peeling the apple? Drain. Do you drain the chips? Did you drain the chips? Does she drain the chips? Have you drained the chips? Has he drained the chips? How do you drain the chips before serving? I am drying the chips. Is the oil drained from the chips? Are you drying the chips right now? Was the water drained from the chips? Are you chips drained properly? What do you drain from the chips? Why do you drain the chips? Which chips do you drain? When you drain the chips? Where do you drain the chips? Who drain the chips? Whom do you help with? Whom do you help with drying the chips? Whose chips are you drying? How do you drain the chips? Decorate. Do you decorate the cake? Did you decorate the cake? Does she decorate the cake? Have you decorated the cake? Has he decorated the cake? Had he decorated the cake? I'm decorating the cake. Is she decorating the cake? Are you decorating the cake? Was he decorating the cake? Were they decorating the cake? What do you decorate the cake with? Did you decorate the cake? Which cake do you want to decorate? When will you decorate the cake? Where do you decorate the cake? Who will decorate the cake? Whom do you ask to decorate the cake? Whose cake is being decorated? Who do you decorate the cake? Means. Do you mean celery? Did you mince the celery? Does she mean celery for the soup? Have you minced celery for the salad? Has he minced the celery yet? Had he minced the celery before cooking? I am meeting celery. I is meeting the celery. Are you meeting celery? Was he meeting celery? Were you meeting celery? What do you ask to miss celery? Where do you meet celery? Which knife is best to which? Which knife is best to my celery? Where do you ask my celery? When do you use my celery? Where can I learn to my celery? Who taught you to my celery? Whom do you ask about missing celery? Who request missing celery? Whose request missing celery? How do you mention celery? Thank you for watching. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.